Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's project is my stove. Sorry about the nastiness, but I couldn't figure out how to clean it without using caustic chemicals. And it's years and years and years of gunk just piled on and burnt on. Then I saw an idea on social media. I'm not sure where I saw it, but I think it was on Facebook. And that person used this. It's a pumice stick, and it can be used in the bathroom, in the kitchen, and anywhere you need an abrasive tool. It can easily be found at Target, Walmart, local markets, or the dollar stores. So to start, I wet the stone with water, and that's according to the instructions. And I began by scrubbing very lightly because I didn't want to scratch up my stove. Just a warning though, the sound is pretty horrendous. As you can see here, it's lifted up some of the gunk, and part of the pumice stone has also worn away and will continue to do so as I scrub. As I'm scrubbing, I'm using a wet towel to remove all the loose gunk so the pumice stone can make contact with the surface easily. I'm still going over with a gentle hand because I didn't want to furiously scrub and scratch up my stove. The post on Facebook said the pumice stone did not do any damage, but keep in mind that I have a regular gas stove, nothing special, just a standard range. At this point, I went over the stove with some dish soap to get rid of some of the extra grease to prepare for the next experiment. I mixed baking soda and water to make this sort of paste, and I'm going to spread it over the stove and let it sit overnight. I did add more baking soda and water as I needed it. It's the next day and the baking soda has dried. I had to replace the grate because I didn't want Kitty getting into the baking soda. I started by scrubbing away the baking soda, hoping it would reveal a magically white stove, but it wasn't. The stuck-on gunk was still there, but the baking soda did lift some of the grease. So again, I went in with the pumice stone to loosen up all those hardened bits. By this time, I've spent over an hour total scrubbing the stove, and I was going with whatever I thought would get the job done. I'm gonna layer the stove with dish soap, hoping that it'd do some degreasing while I scrub. I do suggest using rubber gloves if you're gonna use dish soap and baking soda because you don't want to end up with pruny hands like I did. It's now a week later, and the stove hasn't improved much since I first started. So what's left are the corners and those little bits all around. Although I used a gentle hand with the pumice stone, it was not so when I started using this screwdriver. By this time, I spent hours on the stove and I was super impatient. I just wanted to get this done and might have been a little bit too forceful and got carried away with the screwdriver. But it did do very well going into those corners. Now I didn't show you the other side of my stove, but it really wasn't as bad as the other side, and most of the stuff just lifted with some dish soap. I mixed dish soap and baking soda and spread it all over the stove while I do the last round of scrubbing. So as you can see, most of the bits came off easily on this side with the baking soda and soap and the scratchy sponge. The chiseling continues. Here's the before and after. It looks so much better. It's not perfect and I don't need it to be. I wanted to get rid of that fire hazard. Now I did end up with some hairline scratches, but that was due to being overzealous with the screwdriver and not the pumice stone. Was it the best way? Probably not. Was it the only way? No. But it got the job done without caustic chemicals, and that was my goal. I hope you liked this experiment. Thank you so much for dropping by, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, for there is more cleaning and decluttering fun to come. Bye guys!